we're in the full guard. So last month we went over back attacks, back control, escaping the back. This month we're going to step up to kind of that next tier of positions. So up until now we've worked kind of the basic flow of guard, half guard, side control, mount, back, right? Kind of that general progression of all the normal positions you're going to end up in. This month we're going to work on going to an open guard and attacking from there. So we're going to start with a couple different options. But first, all we're going to do, we're going to set a cuff grip, or if you're pajama free, wrist grips. I prefer cuff grips or pistol grips here. I like pistol grips personally. Preference, not right or wrong. Once you're here, all we're going to do is we're going to shrink and drive both of our knees to the inside of his elbows. All right? What that's going to allow us to do is bring one foot to the hip, other foot to the hip, opening our knees as wide as we can, attaching his wrists to my hips. What this allows me to do is, look at Mr. Hackett. If he goes to move, I'm well attached. Have good control of both his hips with my feet, hands with my hands. So now I have great positional control, so now we're going to work some different options. Alright? So obviously we're just going to start with one of the more basic ones, but it's one of the ones I like the most, the triangle. So on here, we get to this position, all we're going to do, strip ourselves away a little bit and bring one knee to our chest. What that's going to allow us to do, in Pride Rules MMA, is kick James right in the mouth. We're going to kick that right past his head. As we do that, I'm going to pull James in and drive my hips up. The one mistake a lot of us make whenever we're attacking triangles is I'm here, I bring this arm in, I pull in, and I'm just like, hey, I'll just leave my butt on the ground here. For those of you in Delaney's viewpoint, Delaney, how much space is right here? Pretty big space, right? Now, look at the difference in space when I'm here. I bring this up, here, and here. A lot less space, isn't it? That's why I drive my hips up in this position. I want to attack that neck and close off that space as much as possible. So I'm here in the full guard. We're working, I'm making grips, all these fun things, right? Boom. I get my grips. Shrimp, get my feet to the hips. And I'm using this to off balance James. I'm not letting him get close. Pushing on the hips, dragging his arms forward, boom. Here. Now, the second I get both of my feet over his neck, one of the big mistakes I see us trying to make is a lot of us are trying to shoot straight to the lock. Just get your feet crossed. Unless you're blessed like Jordan's lanky, flexible ass, you're not going to be able to shoot straight to a triangle. Highly unlikely, highly inefficient. Get your feet locked, then we have time to work, okay? Because even if James starts to, respond appropriately, push his knees in, go his head, right, I can still go to work. We raise our hips up, get his arm across. I reach up, I comb James's hair behind his ear, grab my shin bone. I do not grab my foot. If I see one of you grab a foot during this, just know I'm walking by and smacking the shit out of you. Shin behind his head. James, there's a purple belt behind the desk if you can get your head out right now. It's right there. It's right up front. I swear to God there really is one.
Not today.
Not today, bitches. You cannot get out. If I'm here, and I tell James that same thing, there's literally a fucking avenue for him to leave through. It's an interstate. Where's the space there? Here, that's why I grab here. This foot goes to the hip, not the mat. Hip, also something I will hit you for. This hand, couple options. Scooping the shoulder, scooping the knee, grabbing belt, something on this side of the body to help, that way you can help pull yourself around. Now, I'm gonna let James sit out of this for a second so he can breathe, and then I'm gonna choke him. Once I get this ankle cut, I close my triangle, not on my foot, on my shin bone. If I close this on my ankle or on the middle of my foot, when I go to hammer this down to finish, I'm ankle locking myself. Really inefficient way to attack somebody, to hurt yourself, right? Shin bone, arch this foot up, this foot down. That's gonna allow you to close off this space and choke James real nicely. So I'm here in the full guard, I get my grips, moving, boom, I get here. Boom, foot comes out, arm comes in. I attack there, boom, tuck the arm in, cut my angle. As soon as I get this angle, close that, arch up, arch down. James taps pretty quickly because it's not fun when I hit a good try. So we're here. We're going to rotate around just a little bit just so we get a couple different angles here. I rotate, I'm moving. Realize I'm not just laying here when I hit open. This is so I can attack. This is so I can be active. I push here, I'm going to go other side here. This arm goes in, this leg goes out, pull in, shoot up. Order of operations. Arm across, grab the shin, flip the hip, cut your angle. And your shin bone, I shouldn't have going 45, it should be straight 90 across the front of his shoulders. His shoulders and your shin should create a little set of train tracks. Close that off here. And when you pull something here, you pull the head, not your shin bone. I see a lot of people try to pull the shin. Your shin bone's not that much, it's down. Other questions on this?
In Nogi against a similarly still opponent, do you like this at all?
Yeah, I will go open guard more than I go. I will not sit in a closed bow.
I'm saying the grips around the
Oh,
wrist.
grips wrist? No, I'm going here. If I'm going to go Nogi, going monkey palm grips, back of the elbow. Same concept. That's one of the grip options I've got shown. But I don't mind, I don't do a lot of wrist gripping because I have children the size of fucking hands. So I can't grip anything for shit. That's why you never see me like really grip heavy hands. Because I wear a literal child-sized large glove when I buy gloves. I wish it was a joke and it was funny, but so when I'm there, I will only grip here. I'm very rarely like you can break my grips that. If I grab your wrist, it is fully for show. It's not because I'm going to do it. Here, I'm actually good work. But if I'm Nogi, I'm going to grab here. Back to those triceps. It'll allow me to work a few things here. Same concept. Other questions?
What did you say you were doing with your knees?
Look. At this point, we're at the finish. So at this point, I'm keeping my knees wide for two reasons. One, I want to keep control of his arms, but it also makes it uncomfortable for him. When I'm here, I'm pulling in. James can't do a lot, so it's allowed me to keep control of his hands. Now the nice part is, once I shift back here and I bring this knee up, it allows me to shoot that up. Now once we're here, then it's just squeeze. Other questions? All right. 1, 2, 3. So I'm here. I get here. I get my grips, right? I shrimp. Boom. I get here. Couple details we were messing up a little bit that I want to clean up before we go to the next piece. When I'm here and I get my grips, guys, I'm not laying flat here long term. I'm using this to help off balance this squat. Because if I just lay here and I go, like Dewey sucks at jiu-jitsu, but he doesn't suck that bad at jiu-jitsu. So when I'm here, I'm off balancing him and keeping him moving. So I get for while we're drilling, at least the first couple times, you want to just kind of get the motion down. But I'm giving you guys on average 10-ish minutes to drill this. So by here that you guys should be adding just that little bit of motion to get people going. Does that make sense? The other thing, when I pull this knee in, I pull this hand in as well. A lot of us were doing that as two kind of separate motions. I'm off balancing him. And the second this comes in, I pull here. Does that make sense? Okay. So now for the next piece. This all comes off the off balance. So I'm here, I'm off balance. Here. As I'm moving, all I'm going to look for is me to open to my preferred side. So for me, that's this way. Makes my right hand on top. I like to work with my right hand. Easy to figure out right. As soon as I do that, all I'm going to do is look to kick Dewey's hip out, pull his wrist across to my far side arm, and then instead of pulling my knee out, all I'm going to do is kick my shin through. Here. Because what that's going to allow me to do is I'm off balancing here, moving, I open this way, I kind of like that, but I'm here. Allows you to hit that nice little scissor sweep. Just from the open guard. We're here. I get to my open guard. I get my grips. I don't care which ones you use. Let's say I'm no-gi and I like to grip here. Move in, I'm off balance at Dewey. We're here. I either kick the hip out, or if you're comfortable, kick the knee. I pull this same side arm across, kick this shin, and I'm trying to place Dewey right in that corner. That's the angle we're attacking at, is that 45 degrees. What that's going to allow you to do is then slide over here, settle, take mount, slap Dewey for being late to class, all those fun things. Questions on the scissor sweep? You can't. The reason I like coming to this open guard is I go to controls here, and if I come up for that overhook, he's beat this leg, generally, which is about half the reason I have this guard. That makes sense? That's the difference in between this and butterfly. In butterfly, if you're going to hit this sweep, absolutely. That's the difference here is, even if you are here, I'm not digging deep for that overhook or even that underhook because that defeats the purpose of having the leg. Makes sense? So, wrong? No. Preferred in this position? Also. Oh, shit. Here. Boom. Open. Push. Pull. Pull. Here. You can't come up cleanly if you have a good, if you figure this out, there is an arm bar pretty immediately. Break the wrist. Walk. Questions here? One more time, other than that. So I'm here. Switch the angle up. Moving around, I get to my open guard. Once again, I'm moving in, doing all sorts of stuff. Boom, I open to this side because I'm versatile. I can go both ways. Here, here, here. Then you elbow. Other questions? Yeah. As soon as I come up now, if I'm here, I'm generally sweeping up into the arm bar. But if you're not comfortable with that, sweep and take mount, guys. Realize sweep and take mount much more important than sweep into an arm bar. I'm generally going to put it just above where he's bent. So if I'm looking at doing right here, like I'm not trying to kick it like way underneath or anything. Or even, I don't like to even hit the front. I like to hit kind of this top piece of knee because it also kicks their hip. Yeah, that's the other piece of it. If I'm here, Dewey doesn't suck at jiu-jitsu. I open to this side if I press it real low. You guys can step over. So that's why I go right here, because he goes to step here. We still have it. I mean, would I ratchet my knee back here? Heel strike? No. But if I'm here, boom. You draw your heel back and kick through it, maybe. You make it look like a jiu-jitsu motion, just like anything else. Reasonable, right? Now, it's just like anything. I can kick through for my triangle. Or I can come back here and kick, and Dewey can run into it. Like it's jiu-jitsu motion. Intent is going to play a lot. Because realize, most tournaments you have to be a purple belt and up to win. So they're not going to be people who are going to be shocked by most things. But they're also going to see straight through bullshit, too. Like if I watch you, like if I'm here and I'm like, I know you're not trying to wrestle, you're trying to fucking hit. Like, I get the difference in between that and a hard pummel, right? If I'm here and me and Newton are working and I'm like, it's a hard pummel, it's physical, I may tell you, chill the fuck out. But if I'm here and we're working and I'm like, and then I say stop and the ref looks at me and I'm like, what? I was definitely doing jiu-jitsu there. Like, you know the difference. There's a difference in between physical and dirty. Don't play that line. You're allowed to be physical, don't be dirty. 1, 2, 3. We're here. I got Mr. White. We're working. I'm doing cool shit, right? I get some grips. I trip my hips. I get here, right? I'm still moving around, all this fun stuff, but let's say I want to attack and sweep at the same time, because I'm a savage. Right, so I'm moving, right? Boom, I'm here. All I'm going to do is I'm going to kick one leg through, and as I'm doing that, I'm going to rotate my knee up, touching his wrist in my side pocket. So we're here, we're moving. I get to here. I kick this leg through, force here, and I'm trying to rotate as hard as I can this way with this hip. This foot should rotate me as close to 180 degrees that way as I can. Here. And I'm using that to sit up. As soon as that happens, I drag this foot out, cross my feet, hammer my heels down. As that's happening, I switch my hands here and here. This is an omoplata, which, if you understand my stance on omoplatas, they are a sweep, not a submission. I will argue that till I am blue in the face, Clark Gracie can kiss my ass. It's not a submission. Alright? Once we're here. No points. Yeah, I agree. I don't make rules up, except for when I run tournaments. Now, once we're here, couple details. I have to keep his elbows above my thigh. So if his elbow's way down on the mat here, I have to pick that up and keep my feet crossed. Here. One of the big things a lot of people mistake is they go to this figure 4 way too early. When I'm here, I have to keep my feet crossed until this hip is flat. So I keep the hip, I'm here, I scoop, scoop. See how now that naturally flattens to the out? Now I go from the cross to that figure 4. Once we're here, I scoop underneath his arm, forward, pop shit to his ear, because I can. If I'm lazy, I also lean back and wrist lock him, because prison. Wrist lock is there. So we're here. We're moving around, we're doing stuff, right? I like it. Here. As soon as you get here, switch, here. Keep those feet crossed, and I'm keeping my feet heavy. All my weight, I'm focusing on pushing it out past my feet. Because if Dewey tries to bring his head up right now, my legs aren't that strong, like they're kind of strong, like I squat. So like, they're not that strong. I'm here, scoop my hips out, scoop my hips out. As soon as his hip breaks down, figure 4, up and over. If it's not working, clear it out, take it back, slap Dewey for fun. Questions on this? Speak up like an adult. I would finish either the omoplata, leaning up and over. If that's not working, I can wrist lock. And if that's not working, I just abandon ship and take it back and start choking. Does that make sense? One more, other than one more.
I feel like in Dewey's position, it would be the best when you feel yourself like your arm trying to get isolated. It would be like the best way to defend it.
Start finding a way to get your elbow out there. That's the entire game. Head up, elbow out. It's one of the simplest missions to defend against if you don't panic. Like that initial spin panics a lot of people. Especially like if you're not used to it. Like I'm in front of you and then I'm beside you / kind of behind you. That's kind of disorienting for a lot of people. But the second my elbow's out, the submission works 1% of the time. Like, if you have bad shoulders, it may be. But if you can get that swivel down and get your elbow out, more outside of the
other way.
So we're here. So we see a couple different angles of it. Boom, I'm here, I move right. Boom, I'm moving my hips. Leg down, hand in my pocket, kick through to rotate. Allows me to sit up, here. That is the hardest motion to figure out. Once you get that motion down, the rest of this is hand to hip. Scoot out, scoot out. Figure 4. Finish. If that's not working, you can also come across. Choke. Collar choke. You're a real dickbag. You can Wonder Bar. Police brutality. A couple other options. Wrist locks. Options available. Once you get them broke down though, world's your oyster. Continue. So over here. Moving. Get myself up here. If you notice, see how his elbow's a little low here? All you gotta do is grab, pull that thing in. Or I will normally break them down and then pull their elbow. Really help myself out. Here. Once you're here, it's just options bar. And if you hate them, you forward roll.
What happens if they know you're doing this and they try to get it? How do you stop it?
That's why the hip grabs is important. So if I'm here, Dewey starts to roll. Follow it. You can follow it. That's a lesson for another day, but you don't paint it, you just follow it. Does that make sense? Literally just start like limp arming out and start getting that elbow to the mat. Yeah. Where do people actually grab like some grip on like the bicep and like a bunch of a lot of times people squeeze around your forearm and legs. Like I said, you'll feel it, you'll feel the easy kind of just wiggle your arm and you're halfway out. Ready, fill her up. 1, 2.